Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Michael Breus, the Sleep Doctor. Today, we're going to talk about some of the best and worst vitamins for sleep as you age. I'm very passionate about this subject, and I know many of you want to learn more about what you are putting into your bodies. Maintaining healthy vitamin levels can be extremely helpful in getting you to fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and minimizing the amount of awakenings you might be experiencing in the middle of the night. Let's start by talking about the key vitamin you should be avoiding. Now, I know I've mentioned this in a few of my previous videos, but one of the worst sleep products, in my professional opinion, that too many of my older patients are taking as a blanket sleep aid are multivitamins for sleep, or what I call kitchen sink supplementation. These are products where they throw 5, 6, 7 different ingredients together in a single pill. And let's be honest, I get it. It's easy to take one pill as opposed to 5 or 6 different ones. Plus, you might be thinking to yourself, look at all this great stuff I'm getting in this single pill. But 90%, if not more, of what's in there, it could be melatonin, valerian root, magnesium, passion flower, L-theanine, you name it, they actually really shouldn't be packaged together, especially in such high dosages. Now, don't get me wrong, some of these things taken separately and properly can absolutely be helpful for sleep. But do you really need high dosages of tart cherry extract, 5-HTP, and L-theanine if you're already taking some kind of magnesium and melatonin combo? My guess is no. The scary thing to me is that most people don't actually read the full list of ingredients. They just pick it up right off the shelf at the grocery store or the health food store, and they don't realize that some of these supplements can be adversely affecting their sleep because of a combination of other medications they might already be taking. Are all multivitamins inherently bad for you? The answer here is no. And I don't want you to get worried if you're currently taking one of these. I would just encourage you to seek out the multivitamins that maybe limit their ingredients to 2, maybe 3 things, and that's it. And the lower the dosages, the better, especially if you're starting a new regimen. Before I get into my recommendations on the best vitamins for sleep, I want to pause here and ask that if you enjoy this kind of sleep content, could you please give this video a like and go subscribe to the channel just below? Your support allows me to keep making this kind of sleep content for you in the future. So do me a huge favor and go do that right now. I also want to mention it is extremely critical for you to understand what your chronotype is. If you want to start improving the quality of your sleep, that's one of the most important things for you to know. If you don't know what a chronotype is, go take my sleep quiz to find out at chronoquiz.com. And if you're interested in learning even more about your sleep, I have a website with tremendous content, including sleep articles, product reviews, a shop, and even more. I'll leave a link to both of those in the description just below. So the first vitamin I highly recommend to people for better sleep as they get older is vitamin D. Now, I bet most of you already knew this, but you might not know why it actually helps. So number 1, vitamin D helps regulate the genes involved in melatonin production, which ensures proper sleep patterns. Vitamin D reduces the production of melatonin in the body. You see, vitamin D is synthesized in the skin upon exposure to sunlight, while melatonin is produced in the pineal gland during darkness. This inverse relationship suggests that increased sunlight exposure, which boosts vitamin D levels, may reduce melatonin production due to decreased darkness exposure. Remember, melatonin is that key that starts the engine for sleep. It's the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle, so obviously it's super critical. Number 2, vitamin D helps regulate our circadian rhythm. Low levels of vitamin D are linked to disrupted sleep patterns, difficulty falling asleep, and poor sleep quality. Number 3, it helps produce serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter that influences mood and sleep. Remember, low levels of serotonin can lead to sleep disturbance and even insomnia. Number 4, it helps decrease sleep latency and improves sleep duration, meaning it helps you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. Number 5, vitamin D can help reduce inflammation and risk of some sleep disorders. Low levels of vitamin D can increase inflammation, which can either increase the risk of sleep apnea, or if you already have sleep apnea, it can actually worsen your symptoms. So when someone comes into our clinic and tells us they have poor quality sleep, one of the first things we do is run blood work and look at their vitamin D levels. So how do you get vitamin D? Well, the number 1 source of vitamin D is from the sun. I highly recommend that after you wake up in the mornings, go over to the window and get a little extra sunlight. Or better yet, step outside and really let the rays of light wash all over you. Now, you can also get vitamin D through your diet. Things like fatty fish, fish oils, egg yolk, dairy, even orange juice. And lastly, you can always supplement with either vitamin D2 or vitamin D3. Now, I recommend seniors taking somewhere between 600 and 800 international units every day. I know many of you out there might think, wow, this sounds too low. But for us seniors, we just don't need as much vitamin D. Generally, a daily intake of 800 to 1,000 international units is recommended for elderly individuals to maintain optimal bone health and to prevent deficiencies. Nordic Naturals and Thorne Research are really great brands to start with for vitamin D. But because D3 is such a popular and common vitamin, you really can't go wrong with much of what's available. I recommend taking your supplement in the morning or midday as to not interfere with any melatonin regulation. All right, next vitamin I'd recommend taking for sleep is vitamin E. Vitamin E can support better sleep in several ways due to its antioxidant properties and the role in the brain and the nervous system that it plays. Number one, it's a powerful antioxidant. Vitamin E helps reduce what's called oxidative stress in the brain, which is linked to sleep disorders like insomnia and restless sleep. Number two, it may help with cognitive decline in aging adults. Older adults often experience memory issues and poor sleep, and vitamin E has been studied for its potential neuroprotective effects that help everyone improve memory loss and sleep. Number three, for those who experience restless legs during the night, vitamin E helps with improved relaxation and reduced muscle cramping. And number four, similar to vitamin D, it can improve oxygen flow and reduce symptoms of sleep apnea, leading to better sleep. Now, there are a ton of ways to get vitamin E naturally in your diet. It's in nuts and seeds, spinach, broccoli, tomatoes, as well as a bunch of different oils, including wheat germ oil, corn oil, even soybean oil. If you do supplement, one question I often get asked is, how much should you take? The recommended daily intake should be roughly 15 milligrams, maybe a little more if your focus is for sleep and muscle recovery specifically. Look for a high-quality, natural sources of vitamin E. Avoid synthetics, which are less effective and harder for the body to use. I don't particularly have a strong preference on when to take it, but it's best absorbed with dietary fat, so taking it after a meal or dinner is probably best. All right, now let's talk about one of my favorites, vitamin C. I highly recommend vitamin C considering it acts very similarly to vitamin D regarding how it affects sleep and memory. Low levels of vitamin C have been linked to more sleep disturbances during the night and linked to a greater risk in sleep disorders in general. As far as our memory is concerned, vitamin C protects the brain against memory losses associated with sleep deprivation. Again, for those with sleep apnea, vitamin C can improve blood flow and something called cardiac tone in people with obstructive sleep apnea. So if you're on treatment for sleep apnea, like a CPAP machine or a dental device, it's important to get your vitamins. You can find vitamin C in citrus fruits, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and then leafy greens, kale and spinach, even red bell peppers. If you do supplement, I recommend that men take roughly 90 milligrams and women take about 75 milligrams. The best time to take it is probably in the morning or early afternoon, but I've had patients take it in the evenings and it's worked out well for them also. If you find that it does make you feel more energized, stick with the mornings. That's what I do. All right, finally, I want to talk about some of the B vitamins, B6 and B12. B6 can help with dream recollection, and it can change melatonin and serotonin production, which are vital in triggering the body to fall asleep. It's also been connected to a lower risk for depression. And as we know, older people are unfortunately at risk to develop symptoms of depression. Remember, depression is associated with sleep disturbances, so this is critical for all of us as we age. Now, B12 is another key sleep-wake regulator. Studies show that B12 is involved in regulating sleep-wake cycles by helping to keep your circadian rhythms in sync. Similar to B6, B12 also has been connected with a lower risk of depression. So it's a good idea to have a balance in your Bs. Now, where can you find B6? Things like bananas, carrots, spinach, potatoes, milk, cheese, and fish. And B12 in dairy, eggs, meat, fish, and even shellfish. If you do take supplements, how much should you take? For adults under the age of 50, the RDA, or recommended daily allowance, is about 1.3 milligrams, increasing to 1.5 milligrams for women and 1.7 milligrams for men over 50. Again, it can make you feel a bit energetic at night, so aim to supplement it in the morning as well. There can also be drug interactions with vitamin B, so you want to be sure to consult your doctor about any medications that you could be taking where there could actually be some form of interaction. Well, that wraps up the best and worst vitamins for sleep. Please share with me what vitamins you're taking for sleep in the comments below, and feel free to reach out with any questions. I really want to hear from you, and you probably get an answer back. And remember, give this video a like and go subscribe to the channel. I've got some really big videos I'm excited to share with you in the next few weeks that you're not going to want to miss. If you want to learn more about how to quickly fall back asleep in the middle of the night as you age, or my recommendations on the best nighttime routines, go check out my videos right here. All right, everyone, this is Dr. Michael Breus, the Sleep Doctor, wishing you sweet dreams.